All right, what's up, guys? So this morning we traded KOSS. KOSS. Man, this was a scary ride this morning. So let me go over what happened here. So basically, this morning we're looking at KOSS. Right before the bell rang, because I was getting ready to jump in um, above go time, but right before the bell rang, everything it just started taking a dump. So at that time, I was like, this thing was overextended anyways, because it just went from like $8 all the way up to $13. So at that point, I was like, man, this thing's overextended anyway. So I kind of felt like it was gonna just drop hard. But at the same time, I could see that it hit this area one time, hit this area two time, had this hit this area three time, and then it took off. So we know this area right here is a good resistance area, and we know once the stock goes above the resistance area, once it breaks through resistance, now resistance becomes support. So at that time, I drew my line right there because I knew this was a resistance. So this should be a good support area. So at that point, when the bell rang, it was dropping hard. So I was waiting to see if it bounces off this line. If this line held, then I was just going to jump in on the first candle to make that new high. So immediately, once I saw that it actually did bounce and it held, and you can see this is double bottom. It basically double bottom right there, which means it's very good support. Um, that same area, you see, it's the same area, the same area. It's that same area. Um, so you can definitely see that this is very good support. So as soon as I saw this support, I knew first candle to jump in is once it goes above here, which is this candle there. And that's exactly what I did. I jumped in right there and it popped up and I took profit. Now, the second trade, as it's approaching go time, I'm getting ready to jump in. I jump in right here. It tanked on me. This was the scary part. But because I know this previous candle right here, it just basically shows there's a lot of buying pressure in this area. So I ended up buying right there in that area. Um, and thankfully, it popped up a little bit and I sold right there. And I made 600 bucks on this trade. But this trade right here was at 1800, and then this one right here was like 600. And then this one took me over the top. So basically 3 trades. As you can see right here, I jumped at 1198, jumped out at 1243, and then I jumped in at 1307, which is the one right here. And then it ended up tanking on me. So I quickly doubled up, hoping that it would go back to the center. Because on this trade, I was prepared to just walk away with a loss. I knew that I had gave up all my gains. I knew this was a hard drop. So I knew, I was like, oh man, I just basically gave away all my profits. So whatever, I'll walk away with a red day. It's okay to take red days, as long as you don't take a bunch of them. So at that point, I just told myself, you know what? Let me double up. If it at least comes halfway or a little bit above halfway, I could still walk away with a little bit of profit. So that's exactly what it did. And then as soon as I sold here, that's when I saw volume kicking in. And then I was like, okay, so it will break above go time. It is making new highs. Let me jump in again. So I jumped in right there and I sold right there, which you can see this is where I doubled up 4,000, and then I ended up buying another 4,000, and then I ended up selling the whole 8, and then I jumped in at 1310, and then I ended up selling at 1372. So this one right here took me over the top. But let me show you guys how everything went. Let's pull this video up. Let's see. Did I close this video? Where's the video? I guess I closed the video off. Let me find this video. Okay, let's pause this here. Okay, let's make this bigger. Let's go over here. Make this bigger. There. Okay, let's move this over here like that. Okay, so let's hit the play button here so you guys can see. So basically, I'm waiting for it to jump above this candle so I can jump in because this is kind of like a huge pullback. It's pulling back hard. I know this right here is a good support area. So if it just starts making new highs, I'm jumping in. So let's play that. And as you can see right there, let's close this down. So as soon as it jumps above here, I'm jumping in. So I'm watching it. I'm seeing if this support area holds. Because if it holds and it starts making new highs, then it's a good time to jump in. So volume is kicking in. Boom, I'm in. You see I jumped in right there. And I'm looking at these EMAs right there. And I'm saying to myself, okay, if it goes back up to this area, I should be selling right around this area because you could see this right here is a resistance area. So as soon as it pops up, boom, I'm selling. Okay. So now, at that point, I told myself, wait, did I sell too early? Because now I see this thing continues to go up. Now I'm saying to myself, man, I should have probably held on. But I did make my daily goal, so don't be greedy. You know what they say. Pigs get to live another day. Hogs get slaughtered. Now, typically, I'm taking screenshots of my wins, so which is what I just did. So now I'm trying to wait to see if it's going to go above go time, but I'm not jumping in because I want to see if it's going to do a pullback. It has to pull back because whatever goes up must come down. So now I have to wait for it to pull back and come down before I can jump in. I don't want to jump in now and then it comes down on me. So let's fast forward a little bit. So now I can see that it's coming down. Now that I know that it's doing a pullback and it's coming down, now I'm getting ready to jump in. Next candle, I'm waiting to jump in above this candle, right? So let's fast forward. Fast forward to the next candle. So at that point, I was sure this is a pullback. So now I'm going to jump in for the break of go time. Boom, I'm in. And then this happens. And I'm like, oh no. Did I just give up all of this I just made? This whole $1,800 gone. So at that point, I was looking at this candle and I saw this long wick, which means there's a lot of buying pressure right there. So I told myself, let me just buy, let me double up here. If anything, I'll quickly sell if it goes to this area, if it goes below this candle. So I bought right there and I told myself, if it even goes halfway, at least I'll break even. I mean, that's the only thing you could do at this point is double up and try to, minimize the damage at this point. Because right there, I thought, you know what? I'll just walk away with a red day. It's okay. It's okay to lose. Just don't lose a lot. So as soon as it started going above that halfway mark, I was trying to see if it would go a little bit higher and break this. But it was kind of pulling back a little bit and it was slow, so I sold. I just got out. This move right here put me back. This was a $600 move. Now, at that point, I was telling myself, did I sell a little bit too soon? So now as I'm watching, I see volume starting to kick in. And it's approaching go time, so I jumped in. Went down a little bit, but volume was still climbing. You can see volume climbing up. You see volume climbing up. So as soon as it popped up, I'm selling. And that was it. That was it. So let's stop right there. So basically, jumped in there above this candle, waited for it to come down, jumped right here. And this is where it tricked me out because this move normally happens on this candle. And normally this candle is what's over here and it just continues going. But for some reason, it dropped down and I didn't have any other choice but to double up to bring my average down. So my average became somewhere here in the middle, and as soon as it went above this middle mark, I just quickly sold just to break even because I didn't know if it was just going to slam down on me. Because we always have to remember this right here is a resistance area as well. But on the third trade, as soon as I saw candles, this candle here, this volume bar right there is pumping up, which means there's a lot of buying happening. At that point, I felt a little bit more secure in this position. And as soon as it popped, I'm selling. And that was it. That was it for the day. Again, how am I finding these stocks? Right here. Trade ideas. KOSS was number one. It was the best. It was the top gainer. So if you guys don't have trade ideas, there is a link below. Go ahead and click on that link. Sign up. Don't forget to like. And don't forget to subscribe. The more likes I'll get, the more videos I'll make. Hopefully you guys get good value out of this. That's about it. That was it. It was a 5-minute run. As you can see, my first trade is at 9:30.29. Last trade, 9:34.45. So within 5 minutes, ended up with 4,880. Not too bad for 5 minutes worth of work. But this right here was very scary. I thought I basically gave all of my gains. But when you have some experience and you kind of understand how the market operates, you tend to win more than you lose. I do lose. It's very easy to lose, as you can see. When I jumped in there, just as fast as you can make, you can lose just as fast. But sometimes it's the experience that takes you to the next level. And also, just seeing the same thing happen over and over and over and over every day gives you a little bit of confidence in what's about to happen next. Right? So that's about it, man. Pretty easy day, but we ended up on top. All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. Also, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.